The Vectorworks Autosave feature is a convenient backup utility. In this video, we will discuss how to use the Autosave feature efficiently. To access the Autosave settings, go to the Tools menu, choose Options, and then Vectorworks Preferences. Now, switch to the Autosave tab. Here are all of the options for the Vectorworks Autosave. The default Autosave settings save a backup file every 15 minutes to a VW backup folder in the same location as your document. These default settings will keep a single backup file for each Vectorworks document. There are, however, many adjustable settings for the Autosave feature in Vectorworks. To take full advantage of this feature, you will want to adjust some of these settings. First, we will look at the two modes of the Autosave feature. The first mode is to overwrite the original file. This will use the Autosave feature to only save your file based off of a time or operation interval. This overwrites your document and does not create any backups. The second mode is Autosave a backup copy to. This mode uses the Autosave feature as a backup utility, creating backup files depending on your settings. This mode is the default and recommended setting for the Autosave feature. Now, let's look at the interval settings. The default interval is to create a backup every 15 minutes. In most cases, this is a good interval for backups. If an issue does occur, at most you will have a file that is only 15 minutes old. Some users will set the interval much lower. This can actually be more detrimental than beneficial. The backup feature will only save a set number of backup files. If the interval is too low, it's possible that by the time you discover an issue, all of your backup files may have already been overwritten. Also, the saving process does take a certain amount of system resources to process. The delay that occurs when the Autosave process is running can be disruptive, especially with larger documents. It is also a good idea to leave the Confirm Before Save option enabled. Leaving this enabled allows you to postpone the Autosave process. This can be useful, especially if the Autosave interval coincides with another resource-intensive process, such as rendering. Vectorworks will prompt to save after these processes are complete, if the Confirm Before Save option is enabled. An alternate option is to change the interval from minutes to operations. Generally, each mouse click is considered one operation. How fast you work will help determine the appropriate number of operations for your needs. When set to the Autosave a backup copy to mode, you have the option to choose where the backups are saved. The two options are to save the backups to a backup folder in the same location as the original, or a custom location. The best choice for this option depends on your workflow. If you choose to save backups to a backup folder in the same location as the original file, a VW backup folder will be created in the same location as every Vectorworks file you create. Backup files will be created in these folders for any files in this location. This will keep your backup files grouped with the original documents. However, this can create several backup folders in multiple locations. The other option allows you to choose a custom location for your backup folder. This will place all backups for all Vectorworks documents in the same folder. This gives you one convenient location for all backups, but will not separate the backups per project into different folders. In most cases, the best option is to create a backup folder in the same location as the original file. The only exception to this is if your files are saved on a server or remote drive. Backups should always be saved locally, directly to your computer's hard drive. When accessing files over a network, there's an increased risk of data loss. So if you are accessing your files over a network, you will need to choose the custom location option and set the location to a folder on your computer's hard drive. This will guarantee that any possible network issues will not conflict with the creation of backup files. The final option is the number of backups to keep. This is set to 1 by default. We strongly recommend increasing the number of backup copies made. The more backup copies you have, the better. The only drawback of increasing the number of backups is that each backup file uses hard drive space. However, most newer computers have fairly large hard drives, and space issues are usually not a concern. In most cases, the recommended minimum number of backups is 3, with 5 or more strongly recommended. You can set this number much higher if desired. Properly configuring the Autosave feature will give you added peace of mind when working with Vectorworks. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to visit kbase.vectorworks.net for more video tech tips and other technical info. Thank you, and have a great day.